sharing that with all of your leaders as well, so you can share this training. Okay, so today we have a really incredible training that's really unique to share with you, and it's all about finding success, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert or somewhere in between, which is called being an ambivert. And so I wanted to just start off by just saying a couple of things about being an ambivert before we turn the time over to incredible guests, and we will introduce those guests once we get there. Sorry, I'm admitting still, yay. Okay, so a little bit about being an ambivert. A lot of times you'll know if you're an ambivert if you feel like you're an extrovert, but you need that downtime to recharge. You working with people and that inspires you and excites you and fills you up, but at some point you need to take a break and you need to recharge. And it's interesting because ambiverts is actually the most common of the spectrums, but also it means that we can have struggles with mental health a little bit because we can burn out twice as fast as an extrovert or an introvert because we're playing both sides of the field. And so I just want to give you a couple quick tips as a ambivert before we dive into those spectrums of the both. Okay, so a couple of sales tips here is to maintain balance. And this comes directly from author Daniel Pink. If you don't know him, he's incredible, speaks in our direct selling, network marketing, and just overall motivational speaker space. But he says to maintain balance. He said, we've got to be able to have that balance of the analytical and thoughtful processes of an introvert and the effective and confidence of an extrovert. And you got to maintain that balance when you are dealing with different people. So that means that we have to tailor our technique. So when you're listening to Steffie and Wendy talking, you can really start to see like, okay, when I'm talking with someone that is more like Wendy, I need to tailor my technique and match her energy and her wavelength to better get the sell or better get the recruit. Or if I'm talking to someone that's a little bit more introverted, like Steffie, then I need to make sure I'm matching that energy and I need to be more thoughtful and analytical in my processes and my speaking with her. Next is just be mindful of that burnout. We already talked about that for a second, but be mindful because we're always towing that line as an ambivert on both sides. So just recognize whenever you are starting to feel that burnout and make sure you're doing those things that fill you back up. And sometimes filling you back up can mean recharging you at home in the solitary, in the bathtub by yourself. But sometimes that recharge can literally be the opposite. It can be you've had too much of that. And just like during the pandemic, you need to go out and you need to be with the people. So just always being mindful of where you are on towing that line and keeping that balance so that you make sure that you are as healthy as you can be so that you can be as productive as you can be. Because let me tell you one cool little fact about an ambivert. They say there's a research just did, and they did an experiment, and ambiverts perform and make about 24% more per hour than somebody that's on the extreme opposite of an extrovert or the extreme side of an introvert. And so that's just because you're towing the line again of being both. And you can learn from that as an introvert and an extrovert too, of how to sort of hone in and tailor your technique with some of the techniques and tips that both Steffie and Wendy are going to talk to us about today. So with that, I am going to introduce Steffie here. She's going to be our first speaker. She is the SSD of the party animals. I was going to pull up my notes about her, but I've known Steffie forever, so I could just talk days about how amazing she is. Let's see. She loves home decor. Gosh, if you've seen her stuff, she's an amazing photographer, loves home decor. She loves herself some tacos. And she is, she really excels in social selling and marketing. You're going to hear a lot about that today. And she prefers working her business from home and loves utilizing social media to make genuine connections with people. She's an extremely successful introvert that knows how to leverage her authenticity is really her superpower. And that's what I want you to hear and understand if you're an introvert, if you have introvert tendencies, is how it can be your superpower. So with that, I want to turn the time over to Superstar Director Steffie. Thank you so much.
Thanks, friend. So I wanted to go ahead and kick this off with sharing an advantage to being an introvert, and then also, I hate to use the word disadvantage, but it goes with advantage. So we're going to go with it. Just something for you to be aware of. And then I have my top 10 tips to kind of get your wheels spinning on some things that I found success in. And then also will probably get you thinking like, oh, I haven't tried that yet. Or, oh, I already do this, this, and this. And I didn't realize that those were things that maybe an introvert would more lean in towards. So first of all, an advantage to being an introvert is you are already keenly aware of your environment and you pick up on the needs of your teammates and your customers. We have a really great sense of like intuition and listening. There's that saying that goes that I've been using a lot lately with some teammates, and like, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And for introverts, that is so true for us because we actively listen and we're engaged. And when we do speak up, which I'll go into one of my top 10 tips for that, people listen because it doesn't always happen. We've got some really strong extroverts around us sometimes. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way, but sometimes it just feels like some people just like to hear themselves talk. And that is not us as introverts. So that is something that we can use to our advantage. We're really great listeners. We pick up on people's needs, or maybe pick up quicker than most about what somebody could be looking for or what they enjoy. I feel like my memory as an introvert is pretty sharp too, that if you tell me that you like X, Y, and Z, or let me know when ambrosia makes it back into the bring back my bar list, that will stick with me and I will remember that. Won't remember your face, but I will remember your name. I'll remember our conversation, and I will be able to go and let you know that ambrosia made the January bring back my bar list. So that's something that works towards our advantage. Now, something that we have to be aware of that could be a negative connotation when it comes to being an introvert is we are very self-aware. And because of that, we are our biggest critic. And so because we're so in tune with ourselves and always self-reflecting, we have to stop and pause and really make sure that we are taking time for ourselves in a positive way. So self-care, meditation, journaling, keeping a gratitude journal. Earlier today, when I got on with them early, I was filling out my second half because I do a morning and I do an evening. And so we really have to be self-aware that the thoughts that we say to ourselves, more than likely, nobody else is having those same thoughts about us, but we are our biggest critic. I think a lot of times that perfectionism can come into play with an introvert as well. And so we really have to make sure that we are speaking kindly to ourselves. And so that's when meditation, writing down things that you're thankful for, recognizing in my book here, recognizing my superpower for the day or goals or any of that gets jotted down in here so that I'm making sure that I am filling my own cup back up too, because this business is a people business. And so at the end of the day, if you're an introvert, it can be really, really draining and exhausting. So we got to make sure that we're taking time for ourselves, filling our cup back up, and make sure that we're, giving praise to ourselves as well. So here are my top 10 tips in no particular order. And something that I've recently discovered too, even prior to COVID, that the older I get, the more introvert I've become. So I've been with Sensi for over 10 years now. I joined in February of 2011, and something that I really strongly and passionately feel still to my core is you have to try everything when it comes to this business. And then as you mature in Sensi, you can then start to be picky and choosy and not have to do everything anymore. So when I first started Sensi, I was doing home parties. I was doing back-to-back vendor events. There was weekends when I was promoting to director and promoting to star director where I would have 2 events and a home party all in the same weekend. And because I had to try everything, I had to do everything. And that's what was available. 8, 9 years ago, we were a true party plan business, almost kind of like our moms back in the day with like schlepping in totes, and you'd hear superstar directors telling you, like 1 bag rule. That's how it was 8, 9, 10, 11 years ago. It was home parties and it was schlepping your stuff in and setting up a display. And so I have done, and I will always advocate for doing home parties, doing basket parties, getting in front of customers at vendor events. I will always say you have to try it all to be a seasoned, well-rounded consultant. But as you start to find success and as you start to promote up the compensation plan, 1, you're knowledgeable and you know what the heck you're talking about, even if you didn't enjoy doing it. But 2, you tried everything. And so you can show your team and lead from the front that I've done all of those things. But as you promote and as you find success, you really can start to be kind of picky choosy about how you want to work this business. Fortunately, every single one of you chose Scentsy, and I did absolutely no research when it came to choosing a company. I fell in love with the products, and I wanted my husband to stop nagging me to go back to a night to get a job. And so he was paying the student loans for something that I wasn't using. And so I'm a military spouse, if you guys didn't know that. And so he was out to sea on a big, big boat, and he was just coming and going, and I didn't want to go back to social work. So here I am with Scentsy over 10 years later, and I've tried all the things. And now as a superstar director, I can be picky and choosy. And like I said, as I've gotten older, I've become more and more of an introvert. COVID probably didn't help that fact either, because now I extra don't want to leave my house unless it's to travel. So here are my top 10 tips for you. And first of all, make your business introvert friendly. The reason why you picked Scentsy and why you got lucky is our business isn't a single mold. You don't have to just do home parties. You don't just have to go do vendor events and big, huge fairs. We're not selling sham wows like Orville was 15 years ago. We have a huge line of products ranging in everything from home decor and cleaning and laundry and pet care. We have so many things and so many different directions that you can go, and those are going to be covered in my tips as well. But we have so many products, and it's not a one size fits all when it comes to this business. If you only want to work your business online, you can. It just doesn't mean you're just throwing it up on Facebook and hoping that something sticks. So you can work this as social selling, which is a catchy little phrase that I've learned recently, and I've got to start using it more often because that's exactly what we're doing. Social selling, social sharing. Those are things that you can do to grow your business. And that's what I've done for the last 3 years since we moved up here to Panama City Beach. Is when we moved up here, I took my business completely online. Prior to that, I wasn't doing home parties. But prior to that, I was doing vendor events. Prior to that, I was mailing a ton of pouch parties out of state. Prior to that, I was doing basket parties. Prior to that, I was doing huge fundraisers. But then when we moved up here, I was like, I'm going to see what happens if I don't. So I took my business completely online. And then obviously 18 months ago, COVID really made it like a nail in the coffin that if you're going to do this online, you're going to do this online. When we first moved up here 3 years ago, if you guys aren't familiar with the Panhandle of Florida, we had a Category 5 hurricane hit. And so it was very hard to not only be brand new to this area. And then, so we moved here in August, the hurricane hit in October. I'm not going around door to door and connecting with other moms in the school pickup line, asking them if they've heard of Scentsy and want wax and warmers when they have a tarp on their roof. So when I moved up here 3 years ago and then the hurricane hit, my business was solely online and I kept it online, and then COVID happened. So make your business introvert friendly. For me, that means use email marketing. So I do use the workstation for connecting with my team, but outside of that, for my customers, for my newsletters, for sales blasts that I'm sending out, I use an email service. For me personally right now, I am loving Flowdesk, but in the past I have used Mad Mimi. I have used just my Gmail and then uploading all of my contacts. I've used the workstation. So find an emailing system that you enjoy using, that's user-friendly for you, and stick with it, because we can get so many sales through having catchy, clean, clear communication with our customers through email. Next, texting service. If you want to take a look at that, I know a lot of people have had success with that. I've now been starting to use Project Broadcast for my team. I will be implementing that with my customers here too. And if I'm honest with you, probably won't happen. Everything for me works on a timeline of shipping cutoff. So in my mind, I write down ideas that I have, and then I'm like, when shipping cutoff hits. And what I mean by that is when we have our shipping deadline for Christmas announced, I am pushing it sales-wise, pushing it recruiting, pushing it team promotions, all the way up into the shipping cutoff for that. And then that's where I go and look for my brain dump list for the last probably 3 months. And I'm like, oh, I can work on this now. So that would be when I'm looking at coming up with a texting program for my customers. Anything I ever say is like, that's a really great idea after the shipping cutoff. That I really love your idea and I love your enthusiasm. Let's talk about this again after the shipping cutoff, because up until then, everything right now is all about sales. It's all about promoting. It's all about recruiting, and it's all about helping our teammates. And so I love good ideas after the shipping cutoff. So that's when I would look into using texting service for my customers as well. And then obviously a huge aspect for us for being an introvert and growing our business as being introvert friendly would be social media. So for years and years and years, obviously Facebook had been my bread and butter. I would go out and join like years and years ago, before like even really selling on Facebook was a thing. We all, if you're a mom, you are in a birth mom group. You are in a Facebook group because you happen to get pregnant and have a baby in August, let's say, with 80 other women who were having babies in August that same year. And so those Facebook groups is where I grew my business. Well, Ella was just sitting here and she's 9 now. So for at least almost 10 years, because I was pregnant and then had Ella for 10 years, I connected with these women on social media in a Facebook group. I also have a 13-year-old daughter. I was in a birth group for her too. I am so old. I was around planning my wedding during the knot. If anybody was around during the knot was around before Facebook. And so I am still in a Facebook group for Hawaii naughties, which means other women like me, brides who planned their wedding in Hawaii back in 2006. Okay. And so there is Facebook groups for everything and everything. I'm sure you guys have seen the Super Bowl commercial about that. If there is something that is of an interest for you, if I was a huge cook, like Candy said at the beginning, I love tacos, I probably could go join a Facebook group for Mexican cooking, but I hate cooking. I just enjoy eating. So that there's something I could go join. We drive a Jeep. So I am in, Jeep Girls of Florida. I'm a Coast Guard wife. So I'm probably in 4 groups for being a Coast Guard wife. I love home decor. I'm also a military wife. There are Facebook groups for people who are into home decor, who are military wives, because we are stuck living in base housing and we can't paint anything and we can't change fixtures. And so there's a Facebook group for that. So if you are someone who's an introvert and you have interest, whether it's, dog rescuing, or you have a child on the spectrum, or you're a huge Steelers fan, there's a Facebook group for that. And I found that when I was joining these Facebook groups with people that I already have something in common in, as an introvert, it is so much easier to small talk with somebody because you already have something in common and it's easier to bring up Scentsy. So my first challenge for you, which we've all been doing it for probably 10 plus years now, but think tonight, what do you enjoy doing? Is it Bravo? Is it Real Housewives? There's groups for that. Do you drive a Jeep? Do you drive a particular car? Do your kids play on a particular sports team? There is Facebook groups for that. And I want to encourage you to go out and join those groups, because when you get on there and you start meeting people and connecting with people and you send them a friend request, or they send you and you accept it, they will start to get to know you. They'll start to get to like you, and they'll start to trust you, which then opens up the door to share Scentsy with them. Or they're sitting on your newsfeed and they're going to see you at Candy's retreat, or they're going to see you at World Tour with Ariel. They are going to get to know you, like you, trust you, and then also see the longevity that you have been with Scentsy, that you are a Scentsy consultant. You're not a direct sales lady, but that this is your tried and true profession, and that they will start to know you, like you, and trust you. So I want to encourage you to go out and get on Facebook, Join those groups if you haven't already. Start to build relationships there. And on the flip side, you can also do that on Instagram as well. During this last incentive trip, when we earned for Disney, I want to say that probably the majority of my sales came from Instagram. And my last 4 out of 5 new recruits came from Instagram, and they found me through hashtags. So being, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, not particular, but being clear and precise with your hashtags that you are using at the end of your captions will draw people in and they will look for you. So also, because of the last 4 or 5, they've been Coast Guard spouses. Now, I don't know them from Facebook. I don't know them because Mike's been stationed with their husband previously. They found me from hashtag USCG wife, hashtag USCG spouse. So these were people, probably, they're all much younger than me. So I have a feeling like their husbands, fiancés, boyfriends probably are like fresh out of boot camp. And so of course they're like young military wives looking to make friends. And so they found me that way. And then they ended up asking me questions about Scentsy and following me on Instagram stories. I do not have a huge Instagram following yet, but because I show up consistently every single day in my Instagram stories, people have found me. And then because of the use of hashtags, more people who I have things in common with. Again, I'm a mom, I've got 2 girls, I drive a Jeep, I'm into Bravo, I live in Florida. Naturally, people follow me along for Disney content. But the majority of my sales this last Disney incentive trip was from new customers who found me because I was shopping small on Etsy for Disney apparel. So on the Disney incentive trip, me and my girls, we looked cute. We had small shop Disney shirts on, themed every single day. We had ears, we had the lounge flies. That's just what we do. And because I was shopping small, in turn, and tagging those stores on my Instagram stories, they were following me. And as they started to follow me, they were also ordering Scentsy. And then they were sharing their orders that they were receiving back in their stories, and they have way bigger followings than I do. So be intentional with your time that you spend on Facebook, be intentional with your time that you spend on Instagram, and then mimic what you see others doing. Not copy, but mimic what you see other successful people in your eyes are doing on Instagram and on Facebook, but be you about it. So make this business introvert friendly. Also, the reason why this is introvert friendly, because as an introvert, it gives us time to curate content. Now, if I were to walk into a room at home office, we were at Summit earlier this month, and if I were to walk into the room 5 minutes late, and if Jason Harwood would have turned to me and said, "Welcome to the room, Steffi. Give us a little introduction about yourself," I probably would have turned bright freaking red, and I probably would want to die, literally. And so if Jason, though, had then came up to me during snack break and was like, "Hey, I want you to snap a picture and then caption it of this room," you betcha I would have the best darn picture and the best darn caption, because I have time to sit there and think about it in that moment as my punishment for showing up 5 minutes late. Okay. So introverts, use social media. It gives us time to take a photo, several, play around with the coloring on it, caption it. So use social media to your advantage. I promise it's not as scary as it sounds, especially if you're worried about a camera and having your face on it. Turn it around, unbox your whiff box, undo your Scentsy Club. You can do all of that. Change your wax, use a cotton cleanup. I wanted to call it a wax tampon. I'm sorry guys, but that's what I call them. Use your cotton cleanups, do all of that in your Instagram stories, show how our products work, and eventually you'll get comfortable to turn it around. So number 2, build your relationships one-on-one. That's how we work best. As an introvert, we do so much better having one-on-one connection or a very, very, very small group than we do in a big, huge room. That's overwhelming to us. So you have the opportunity to build one-on-one relationships through Facebook groups still, through Instagram with hashtags, and then just finding your people who have similar interests as you, because it makes the small talk that much easier. Number 3, introverts make great leaders. We don't make rash decisions. We gather facts. We reflect on the issues, and we communicate clearly with our team, and also know when to give context. And so that's something that you can really lean in on as an introvert. And it's funny because as I was reading and writing that down, from an article where I was looking for ideas. I was like, that's why so many of my friends tag me and ask me questions about what's releasing today or what time this and that is. Because as an introvert, we pay attention to those details and we retain them. And that when somebody has a question like, why are we having all of these holiday product delays? Well, this and that. I have the context, if I'm not under an NDA, to share about what's going on in the port situation, that I have context to explain X, Y, and Z. So as introverts, we are not quick to make rash decisions. And normally when we make a decision, we feel very strong and confident in the decision that we made, and we're not super wishy-washy. Number 4, people listen to introverts speak. It's not often that we are passionate and willing to like stand up and be like, absolutely, this is the hill I am choosing to die on. They listen to us because it's not every day that we're just talking to talk. And so hone in on that ability that when you feel knowledgeable, when you feel confident, when you have something to add, value to bring, speak up and lean in on that, because they will listen to you and they will also trust your judgment too, because you've proven time and time again that you're not somebody to make quick, rash decisions. And then number 5, great ways to gain PRV. So if you are somebody who's like, I'm an introvert, I don't want to do events, home parties sounds awful. Here are some great ways for you to gain PRV. And this is what I do and have done since forever and ever. 1, follow-ups. I know every single one of you has to be doing follow-ups, but follow-ups is a really great way to up your PRV. And it's easy because they're already your customers. So you're just offering them customer service. 2, realtor gift baskets. I've been doing those for about 5-6 years now. The bulk of my, probably a good $500 in PRV about every other month is from realtor gift baskets. I started out by reaching out to my own personal realtor and said, hey, if I give you a warmer in 3 bars and put it together for you, will you gift it to your next closing client? And I'd love to hear your thoughts back on it. And from me gifting a warmer in 3 bars and writing off on my taxes, that turned into not only her consistently purchasing realtor gift baskets, but also spreading the word throughout her office that I put these together. And so here in just Panama City Beach alone, there's one Keller Williams real estate, and I service all of those realtors with gift baskets because it started with 1 and it just grew like wildfire. So that realtor gift baskets is a great way to get your name out there, great way to get consistent PRV going, and it's not a home party. Basket parties, another great way. We call them employees. So get your employees out there working for you, collecting PRV for a week, 2 weeks, collect it back. You put in the orders, easy. Mailing pouch parties. Because I am a military wife, I do have a customer base all the way from when we lived in Alaska, all the way to when we lived in Key West, Florida, and everything in between. So I call them pouch parties. It's really like a pencil pouch with about 10 testers in it, 1 catalog, 10 order forms, and away it goes in a flat rate envelope. And it comes back to me, at least the order forms do, in like, they take a picture of it with their camera and send them it my way. Most of the time they're choosing to join though lately. So I tell them to keep the testers, tell them to keep the pouch. But out of state pouch parties is how I service all of my customers still up in Alaska, all the way down to Key West, Florida. The other one is personalized whiff boxes. I know Candy rocks it at those. I've dabbled in them when it was the right season for me in my business and I was looking for PRV and a creative outlet. I don't currently do them, but I've had success with curating my own personal whiff boxes in the past. Also sit and sniff at coffee shops, just meeting with a customer one-on-one, even a new customer at Starbucks, at your local coffee place, bringing a catalog, bringing testers with you and an order form. Not only are you going to collect an order from them, it always piques interest of everybody around you. And then fundraisers. I've done huge gymnastics fundraisers because comp gymnastics is expensive. I've done 5th grade camp fundraisers before. I've done cheerleading fundraisers before because I refuse to be a parent who's doing car washes. So there's fundraising opportunities for you. You just have to ask, even if it's your own kid and reaching out to their coach. Fundraising is a huge opportunity for us as an introvert. Number 6, you have to get out of the house once in a while. And so you have to attend and be intentional. So when we moved up here or when we relocate anywhere, I am very intentional and give myself a pep talk, and I have to get out. And so I do attend when I move anywhere. We're on our 5th move so far since I've joined. I attend Chamber of Commerce meetings. I've attended small business mixer meetings. I go play nice at the school functions, meeting other parents, but get out there and start to build relationships and connect with people in your area. Go to your spouse's work events. Going to military functions is like the most boringest thing for me. However, it has led to recruits. So I will tag along and attend he's probably listening, his really boring chief dinners. But it's led to meeting my next teammate there as well. And then number 7, volunteer or get involved. So maybe you're into animal rescues, or maybe you are into cleaning the beach, or, any of those things. Volunteer, get involved. At least it's something that you're passionate about, something that you care about, and then get out there and get involved, because it will lead back to Scentsy conversations. Even if somebody's not purchasing from you, they now know you and know that you sell Scentsy and will refer you when somebody else mentions home decor, home fragrance, Scentsy, work from home jobs, direct sales, any of that. So when you get out and get involved and volunteer. Number 8, ask for referrals. Now, we've moved 5 times. And so I always feel like I'm having to start over in a new place. And so those first few customers that I gain, I wine and dine them. I'm giving them the biggest samples that I have, the quickest ordering I can for them and getting it to them. It is packaged the best. I am just wanting to make sure that I give them the best of the best customer service so that they're referring me out to other people. As an introvert, having one-on-one relationships and building those with your customers, ask for referrals. Have them speak for you and get your name out there. Because what I do compared to maybe another consultant in the same zip code is what sets me apart. So while there is a Starbucks on every single corner, we all have a particular one that we go to because you have your favorite barista or they've never messed up your order. Same with you as a Scentsy consultant. What are you doing that sets you apart from the next consultant in the Scentsy.com consultant locator? Because that will be what keeps people coming back. And that's what's going to be what keeps people referring others to you. Number 9, Scentsy Club. We have this incredible opportunity right there within Scentsy Club to have consistent PRV coming in. So you want to make sure that you understand how Scentsy Club works frontwards and backwards, but then also be mentioning it in everything that you do. Instagram stories, unbox your own club order. Sending out PWS thank yous by mail. You better have something in there that talks about Scentsy Club. We have transition months coming. Well, not coming up, but we do have transition months. You better be talking about and sharing what's being discontinued so that people can start a Scentsy Club. Scentsy Club is a great opportunity to get reoccurring PRV rolling in. It's also a great recruiting opportunity. Many of us have at least one subscriber and their club order alone is $100 a month, right? And so those are the people who obviously know you, like you, trust you to have a Scentsy Club order with, but they also know our products and like our products. And those are your next teammates because of Scentsy Club. And then last, share your successes. As an introvert, share your success, but then also share things that you feel are a setback or what's holding you back. So if you are an introvert, if you are a homebody, if you have a physical ailment, if you struggle with mental health, share that. When you become vulnerable, when you share yourself, when you're your true authentic self and you're unapologetic about it, people are attracted to you. If they're already Facebook friends with you, if they're already your customer, if they're already following you on Instagram, it's because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And so they connect with you. And those are your people. Those are your best customers. Those are your next teammates. Those are, even if they're not your customer or your teammate, because they claim they have allergies from our fragrances, those are the people who are going to refer you to other people. And so share your struggles, share your setbacks, share who you are unapologetically, even if it's an introvert, because you are going to connect with other people who are watching you, but think that they can't be successful because they're not outgoing, they're not bubbly, they're not personable, they're not volunteering for everything, they're not the troop leader. They're not all of these things, but because they're watching you and seeing you on incentive trips, seeing you promote up our compensation plan, see you doing trainings like I am right now. It wasn't until August, end of August, Candy was like, I had no idea you were an introvert. Candy's known me for almost 10 years now. But when I need to, here I am. So lean into your skills, share your setbacks. People will start to connect with you and they'll see that if you can do it, that they can do it too. And then last, just be the light for others so that they can see themselves doing this too. That will resonate with your teammates. That will resonate with your potential customers. That will even resonate with people who are looking to have fundraisers. That'll resonate with people who are looking to let you set up a warmer and change out scent of the month wax every single month when you're at your hair appointment. When you shine bright for others, you're going to attract them, just like the moth to the light. So be yourself. If you're an introvert, own it. If you're an extrovert, I know you already are owning it. So just be true to you. I promise you that people will be attracted to that they'll find something in you that's like, all right, if she can do this, I can do this too. So that is everything that I have for you all. I will sit here while Wendy speaks and I'll look over the comment box too, but I just ignore that. So I'm sorry if I ignored you, but Wendy, my friend, actually, I think Ariel's going to introduce you. So I'll just stop.
I am. Steffi, thank you so much for sharing lots of great tips. And I wrote all of them down. So I will take a picture and share it later in the group. Because I know, was it Kimmy, were you asking about it? Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I have the pleasure of introducing Wendy. She is a superstar director of, oh gosh, I love her name. OC Sense Family of Teams. She's from Orange County. Did I say that right? So I'm second guessing it, right? Like I knew it in my head, but I'm like, no, I'm wrong. Anyway, I had the pleasure of getting to know Wendy a couple weeks ago a little bit better, and she is just a freaking gem. She is one of those people that just draws you in with her magnetism and her energy and her excitement for life and her genuine heart. She, I don't think has ever probably met a stranger, and she is just amazing. She loves doing bar classes. And so if you follow her on social media, you'll see her stories where she does fun bar workouts. And that's one thing I love to do as well. So I'm always watching like, what's Wendy doing today? But she draws you in, and you just want to be in her sphere because her energy is so uplifting and light and full of joy. So she's going to talk about being an extrovert. All you.
My goodness. Tonight is just incredible and amazing. Good job, Steffi. I learned so much as well. It's so good to hear both sides of the story. And I love that little in the middle, I forget what you call it, Candy?
Ambivert.
Ambiverts, yes, because I may fall into some of that as well. But tonight it is all about you, and we want to talk to you. Do we have any introverts here, or extroverts here? Raise your hand. Is there anybody? Okay, so we might have a couple. I've got not many cameras on. Just curious. It's crazy because I call myself an extrovert, but I'll tell you this. Most importantly, I don't want to come off talking about things I do as, oh, I do this and it's so special. You got to remember, as a person, as a Sensi consultant, most importantly, you have to do you, for you, and just be you. Genuinely, authentically, none of it matters. What Steffi says, what I said, you do you, boo. And that's all that matters. Because I feel like things I may be saying to you, you're like, I can't do that. That's okay. If you take one or two of these things that I talked about or that Steffi talked about, and you grow from that, that's what this training is all about. It's all about personal growth. And that's what we're here to do with you today, tonight, whatever it is. Yeah, I have a lot of energy, and this is like no caffeine. So I'm sorry that it is, I don't know what time. It's 7:15 here in California. What time? 9:15 there? No, your Central Time. Okay, so I am going to talk about, I'm a very emotional extrovert, and you will find that a lot of them have a lot of passion. They're very everything is the light in the room and they have lots and lots and lots of energy. Maybe that's just the extrovert you've got going right here. But an extrovert thrives. They thrive in social settings. They need to be in social settings. This camera thing still gets me. I still get nervous. I have sweaty armpits right now. If I'm training, I'm sharing, I get nauseous. I do. So that stuff really never changes. The difference is I may hide it a little better, but deep down inside, my stomach's like a nervous wreck. Again, what happens? That's okay to be that way. You may be that way before you do your first home party, before you go live. But as an extrovert, we can rally. And even when you wake up and you don't feel good, I can put on a smile and pretty much change the way I feel. I can take a morning and wake up and win my morning, whether I'm having a great day or not, because I trained my mind to think positively. Guys, it's a really tricky thing to do, but the difference is your whole life will change when you wake up in the morning and you think about the 3 best things that happened to you the day before. It's something I do every single night before I go to bed. I write down the 3 best things that happened to me that day. That way, the next morning, that is the first thing I look at. I start off grateful. I start off happy. I don't go through social media and compare myself to others, because as an extrovert, we have a tendency to compare. Maybe everyone does. As women, we compare. We don't want to do that. It's self-sabotage. Don't do that to yourself, and don't do that to your business. Rally for the ones that are already earning the incentives. Don't feel bad about yourself, okay? All right, so social settings are my happy place, right? I love home parties. I know you guys are like, Steffie's like, home parties. I just thrive when I get to be in front of people, because extroverts like to be hugged. They like to touch. Introverts generally don't. If you hug Steffie, she'll be like, no. If you don't hug me, I'll be like, what's going on? You don't love me? So it's so funny. That is just how it goes. I remember we had something happen at Superstar Director Summit, and I got a little side hug from Steffie. I will never forget that moment, because she doesn't do that a lot, and that was very special. So love you, Steph. Super cute. Okay, so what is so cool about being somebody who can just talk to anyone, be in an elevator, is this is where I'm in a social setting, and it's very easy for me to say, what do you do for a living? The problem is, as an introvert in that social, they may not be able to. It's something you need to learn, because it begs for them to ask you, what do you do for a living? Hence, what are you going to say when someone says to you, oh, and so what do you do for a living? I have my little tagline. I'm going to tell you what I say. Again, it may be something that sounds kind of cliche, but honestly, I'm in the middle. What I do is I change lives while making the world smell better. They don't know exactly what that is. I could be like, I'm a superstar director for Sensi Consultant. They're like a who, what, where, when, and why, right? Give them something that gives them a feeling. As an extrovert, I'm all about how people feel in my presence. It's so important to me, and it's genuine and it's authentic. But I have this big heart, and as an extrovert, we get so into the caught up in the moment. But the coolest thing is just take a minute and remember how to make people feel. They need to feel special in your presence. So important. They're never going to remember what you said. They're always going to remember the way you made them feel. So that's kind of something that I really work on, is what am I going to say when I'm in public? Do I leave my house every single day and have 3 sponsoring packets? I do, because that's my job. If I'm going to go to the store or I'm going to go somewhere, it's my job to hand those out. I've got a mobile office ready in my car at all times. See, I'm so extrovert, so extra. I can sell you light bulbs. I could sell you a flower. I can get you in Sensi Club. I can show you the warmer of the month. All of the things are in a little tiny tote in the back of my car, because I'm always business ready. Right? As an extrovert, we're going out and we're like, we're going to book a party today. We're going to talk to someone. In California, they want cash and carry. I did a home party last week, and I was telling the girls here today, I said, should I just bring some of my things? Bring it all. She said, I've got 12 guests. I was there for 3 hours. I booked 2 parties. I got a new teamie and sold $1,700 in 3 hours. But cash and carry, they don't want to wait for it in California. They're like, nope, we got to have it. What do you have right now? Pull your stuff out. So again, different type of party. Maybe somebody else on social media can wait for it to come, but in California, they want it. Indiana is a cash and carry state. Okay, Amanda, I just saw that note. So what I always say is, how does an introvert get parties? When you do fun parties and you let people feel special and you give them all the prizes. Here I am at a home party. I stand up in the middle. This is how I booked from my home party as an extrovert. Guys, super important. Hear me out, because I got that little knack and I'm nothing special, but I just know a way with words and how to reel people in. So I'm at the home party and I'm halfway through and I said, all right, guys, who wants to see me do an air purifier demo? I had never done one, but I did it like a video. I did a reel on it, but I'm like, I need to get out in front of people and practice. So I took the opportunity. You know what? I sold 2 purifiers that day. That's a lot of money. I still can't believe it. But I did the candle where I lit a candle, right? And I took a Scentsy dish, one of her dishes, and I put the wax in front of it. See, the air is clean. Then I lit a candle and you could see the black soot kind of going up. And I'm moving it back and forth. I'm like, please turn red. Please turn red. You know, that little red ring. Suddenly it turned red and everything kicked in. And I said, guess what? The scent throw is now gone because it is cleaning the air. They about lost it because people in California are all about clean air, even though they don't want to wear a mask or deal with vaccines. Sorry, I'm vaccinated. They're not. It is what it is. There's no judgment there. I love people for who they are. But if you could do a demo in a party, that's what an extrovert would do. They would talk about the products, right? Sometimes at a home party, you're so busy, you don't have that time. But if you schedule the time to talk about your products, you're going to do a lot better. It's all about the experience with Scentsy, right? I sold that because I shared the value of a candle versus Scentsy wax, and they saw the hairspray and it kicked into gear. So it was really, really good. My other favorite thing that I love to do it all. I do all the fundraisers, I do events, I do home parties, I do basket parties. I just am obsessed. I'm old, my kids are gone, and this is all I do, guys. So 57, yeah. So here I am doing all the things. I love events. I do. Do you know why? When we do an event, I've got a girlfriend who helps me because I believe you need 2 people at an event. It's kind of hard to bag and talk and share and close the deal. So I pay a girlfriend. She doesn't want to do the business, but I pay her to help me lug the stuff and do all the things. In my event, I seriously stand in front of the event. You're going to laugh. I'm gonna get a little visual here. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. I stand in front of the event with like a washer whiffs and I talk about, ooh, I do this. Ooh, jammy time. Who wants a sample? Who wants to go home and wash their sheets and have them smell like this? Come over here. Come here. What do you think? Takes a little whiff. People are drawn to my booth. I bring them in. You're going to laugh. I do. Get over here. I got my counter clean. See those tennis shoes? Let me show you how amazing this product is. They're all, what? It can clean tennis shoes? Get over here. I get a rag and I freaking clean their tennis shoes. You think I'm crazy, but guess what? They keep coming back. And it's like that booth that people like to stand around because it's fun. Yeah, Steffie's dying right now. She's like, oh my God, only Wendy, right? I draw them in, and what happens is the excitement is there and they've got to buy. They come up and I talk to them about, of course, the product. If I'm standing out in front, I don't sit down and I'm never behind my booth ever. Okay. I put scent stickers on little kids that walk by. Why? Chances are he's going to be walking down the road. His mom's going to be like, hey, where'd you get that sticker? Oh, see that lady in that turquoise booth over there? She gave it to me. Oh, that smells kind of good. They always come back. Right? I put a sticker on a kid and their parents come back and buy. You just never know. an introvert wouldn't do that. An extrovert, someone who's super extra would. Again, you make your parties fun, you do demos. I do a demo at my events. Again, things that you wouldn't normally do. Is it uncomfortable? It is sometimes. Get through it, just do it, just do it. Okay, next thing is upsell. When somebody says, I want to buy a buddy, guess what? They don't buy a buddy from me unless I say, did you know 3 of our scent packs for $20, you're going to need more scent packs for that. So every buddy sale, I make a difference and I sell three scent packs with every buddy sale. Hence, my PRV is up and I'm always talking. That could be a suggestion you could do. And it's not introvert or extrovert, it's just an upsell. Someone says, how much is a bar? My bars aren't $6. They're buy 5, get 1 free, 6 for $30. Every single time. They don't buy 1, they buy 6. Okay. When I'm talking about a mini warmer and I'm telling somebody about mini warmers and how great they are for your kitchens and your bathrooms, when we're talking about products, I say, guess what? I got a deal for you. Okay. You got 1 mini warmer, you got 2 bathrooms, right? Or a kitchen and a bathroom. Right away, they're already going to know the bundle and say, any 2 minis and any 6 bars, I'm going to save you $10. Let's pick out a second one for your bathroom or for your kitchen. What is your decor? I've got a really good eye for decor. I love home decor as well. I love to style. I don't know if you guys can see. I love to style my table and make my events and my home parties. It's not just warmers on top of a box. I try to create the environment of what it's going to be like showing in their home. When they look at my table, they can envision that in their home. And that's what I try to create each and every single time. Would a lot of people out there do it? Maybe not. It's okay. Number 3, follow-ups. Amy is the best. But if you don't offer that suggestion, that's where you can just take the Amy and check on their goods. Offer that suggestion of them booking a party, doing a fundraiser, offering a referral. That is how my follow-ups go. There's always an intention behind it. I don't just ask them how the products are. I always ask them to share their products, but I always ask for a booking, a referral, or a fundraiser, and I remind them what else I do besides selling that wax and that warmer. I got diffusers too, right? Did you see our new air purifier? Here, let me send you a quick video. I pre-make videos as an extrovert as well. How to change the wax, all about the diffusers, all about the air purifiers. And I have them to send off to anyone at any time. It also works great for all my Facebook parties, okay? Think about your Facebook parties. And if you could pop a video in there, talk about how to change the wax and how to do all the things, you make it one time. You use it over and over. I can show somebody at an event. Okay, Amy, I'm looking at what else I was going to say. Extrovert person may look somebody in the eyes. Maybe that's how they get a feel. Or Steffi may get a feel, or introverts may get a feel about by listening or anything. I look at eyes and body language. Someone standing here like this when I'm talking to them, guess what? They're closing you off, right? Their arms are crossed. I watch body language and eye contact. So important when you talk to someone to look them in the eyes. It's hard to do. Not everybody can do it. But when you look them in the eyes, you're seeing into their soul and you're feeling them, feeling their spirit. To me, the eye connection is everything. That's why extroverts love FaceTime, Marco Polo. Anytime I can see someone, video message chat. I get a video message chat all the time from Melissa Gratz. She cracks me up, but she has to see your face. I'm the same way. I want to see you. I want to see what you're doing. They may not like it. Lots of times they're like, not right now, Wendy. No. But I try to FaceTime everyone. Again, it's how I connect as an extrovert. The Facebook parties, I had never done one ever before April 2020. Changed my life. COVID changed my life. I have a Facebook wall right behind me on the other side of this. I thought, what am I going to do? I can't get out there. Guys, you have to do all the things so you can shift your business in an economy or when things change. My business changed. I couldn't do home parties. I I had to drop things off in the porch. I couldn't see people. I was scared to death, scared to death. I did my first home party standing in front of my living room. I did a first Facebook party and I thought, oh boy, I don't know what I'm doing. I took the product training guide. Hear me out, guys. If you haven't done a Facebook party, if you take the product training guide and follow it and share all the systems, you end up with Sensi Club and Whiffbox. That is the exact way you can make a Facebook party successful. 100%. Because I had to shift. I had to figure it out. What do you mean I can't connect with people? So what did I do? Okay, I'm going to be super honest here. Hey, join me for wine. Sorry, I said it. So we had a wine night and everybody at the beginning, I had this little glass that I'd use with a princess crown on it and I'd say cheers and everybody had to have whatever their favorite drink was. But how fun was that? That's what we did in the beginning. We all cheersed everyone. We had to pivot, we had to change, and we made it work. I set up a table, I used what I had. I didn't have a wall, I didn't have anything special. I talked about all the systems, but the best thing as an extrovert, what I did was my Facebook parties were gold. You know why? I walked them around my home. Let me show you this twinkle on my mantle. Let me take you outside right now and show you in the garage what laundry I use. Listen to me. I take my thing I've got a little easel here, take it out of the easel and I walk them through my home. I show them how many flowers I have. They're like, girl, you're crazy. Tell them I'm obsessed. 3 for $45. You can be obsessed too. We can book a flower party right now. But when I walk them through my home, they think, oh my gosh, she really is that crazy Sensi lady. I've got the hand soap and the hand cream. Again, they get to experience it. I'm not just talking about the products, they get to see it. That is how I nailed Facebook parties. I had to find a way. And it was that personal touch at the end. Again, something different, something maybe only an extrovert would do. I think the first party I wasn't sure. And then they said, show us your warmers. The second party. And then it became a thing. At the very end, they're like, are you going to walk around the house? Sure. It became their thing they liked to see. So then I had to change it often. All my warmers, I have a whole stack of warmers because I was constantly changing it for every party, but it was so much fun. Okay, Facebook parties, office parties. I know it's getting late. Huge. Have you ever thought about going into an office? You have 1 hour. They can't get out and shop. Find someone right now today who has an office, works in an office, get in there, order some pizzas so they don't leave for lunch. To me, that is the best way. They're going to get all their shopping done. Go in when it's payday, right? Or buy a payday or near a payday. Makes all the difference in the world. Office parties for extroverts. It's 1 hour in and out, fast, lots of sales. I have this beautiful lawyer's office that I do, and they give me their conference room table. I use it's anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 within an hour. It's crazy. They do all their shopping with me. I stay and I wrap the gifts after. I have gift bags. I just make it an experience because they want to buy it. They don't want to go to the mall and they just want me to do it all for them. They gladly hand me their money. Whatever you want. Here, take this card. How much do you want? Oh, how much do you want for the wrapping? I'm like, nothing. Okay, Facebook, office parties. Where am I at? Is your mobile office ready in your car at all times? Because an extrovert would have that ready because they know they have to be business ready. The second I open my mouth and I talk about what I do, I've already got something. I don't want to pull a grimy old catalog out of my purse unless it's like in a zipper bag and it's all pretty. Please don't hand literature out that doesn't have your label on it, that looks folded over and all, because that's that first impression. And I'm really special about that. So I may take a party pack or a sponsoring pack and put it in my purse right before I get in the store. I want it fresh and I want it pretty because that's how they're going to remember you. Put some confetti in there. And most importantly, when you hand somebody a gift, I'm going to hand it more. Make sure you hand it to them like this. You know why? That's why they call it a present, because I want to present it to you, right? I can hand you a gift or I can present it. I want to give you this present. I want to give you the gift of this opportunity. It's completely changed mine. And I would love to do the same for you. Okay. I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be fast and good. Lives are live sharing. This is so special. I just started doing it more and I'm trying more. Again, I'm going to be honest. I struggle with lives on Instagram. Instagram is the one that I'm trying to build my audience. I'm almost up to 2,000. I don't want to buy anything. I don't buy things. I work for them. So I'm genuinely, authentically trying to get new followers in a good way. I don't rally and I know some people have hundreds and thousands of followers. To me, it's not special. I want real people and I want real connections. So to me, going live, sharing your products, I have one girl who that's all she does, and she does 2,000 plus a month, and she just shares it in her stories. It's just amazing. I need to do better at that. But I think live trainings are good for introverts or extroverts as well. I think that they love the connections. Number 7 is coaching connection calls. I did a lot of that during the pandemic, and I'm still doing that. You can call them coaching calls. You can call them rally calls. You can call them connection calls. My connections are everything. It is so important. And especially if you do it face-to-face, right? Jess is on here. I do connection calls with my girl, Jess, right? And I like to see her face, right? Because I want to see how she's reacting. I ask her what her sales are and everything. I get to see the reaction from her. It's that eye contact, guys. I got to see it. I got to feel it. I got to feel her heart. Okay. Let's see what else I want to talk about. Remember, people, most importantly, people aren't going to remember all the words you said and that you made a mistake and that you messed up by talking about the air purifier. It doesn't matter. Get out there, share your heart, step out of your comfort zone a little tiny bit. I'm not saying you have to be so extra and do all these things, but if there's one thing that I shared that can make your business better, make you feel more confident, then you know what? All of this is worth it. So I'm so sorry. I have no idea why I got emotional. My heart cares. I care about each and every one of you. And if you are an introvert, that's great too. Find something that you can do, that you can say, that you can remember and make people feel special. I promise it'll be the difference of your business. So eye contact, look them in the eyes, feel their heart and soul, get out there and share your love and go live on Instagram stories. Challenge me to do it more because that's my next step. Yep, I think I talked about it all. Top tips, events, upsell, follow up. That's Amy, Facebook parties, mobile office, lives. And I think I got it all. I had to look around my light ring. Woo!
Oh, Wendy, thank you so much. You are just like one of the best. Thank you so much for sharing your heart because it came through. We love you so much. Does anybody have any questions? I felt like we were answering them as they came through in the chat box, but does anybody have any question they want to ask, like looking us in the eye?
In the eye.
Guys, I've got two. Sorry. No? No one's gonna be brave? Unless we really answered all of your questions and then, like, great job.
Is anyone going to try any of these things that Steffie and I talked about tonight?
Hey,
that's what I want to. What's your action plan? Tell us
I have
that.
a question.
Yeah, Bianca.
Okay, Wendy, you said that you, when you do your events, you always do like a sample of your product. Like you said, you clean someone's shoes. When you do your events, are you there trying to recruit or are you there selling products? What's your primary reason for doing an event?
It's for the connections. It's to keep the connections going. I always try to book and I always try to sponsor. Sales are natural for me, so I'm always going to sell a ton. I have a natural, that's just what I do. So to me, I always say, they're like, oh my God, you guys are so much fun. Let's book a party. Want us to come to your house? And that's what they do. That's how we get them. We can be this much fun at your house too. Serve wine or margaritas were even more fun. Oh, sorry. But that's the truth. We do say that 100%. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, let's have a fiesta. So I already make them think about a theme. And I always try, but bookings are my main thing because I can always get more teamies and I can always get more sales. I want to continually get my business, whether it's a fundraiser or something. Bookings are the life of this Party Plan Business. We have to keep continuing to get our business. Yep. More
Thank you,
connections.
Wendy. Thank you.
Welcome.
Wonderful. Okay.
Can I
Thank you
just
so much for
say,
joining us. Oh, go ahead.
sorry. Hi, I'm Jess. Wendy is my girl and Steffie too, but oh my goodness, did you blow my freaking mind with the sticker thing? I have a whole binder full of stickers and I would have never even thought to give them to little kids. Like,
Stick them
what?
on.
Yeah, like what, and especially because, you know, the little kids are like, look at this really cool Disney, whatever. And then you like, and then the one mom is like, come on, we gotta go. It's like giving them a sticker, like cutting them up or just sticking them on there is perfect.
Then
One
they
of
keep
the-
smelling it too.
One other thing I love to do with those stickers is, you know, whenever you have picture day coming up and they put the sticker on the kid's back that says, remember picture days tomorrow. Whenever our fundraiser is due, then I make stickers for the kids' back and I put a scented sticker on that sticker. And it says, don't forget, fundraiser packets are due. And they're scented. So yeah, use those suckers up because we know we all
Bow
have
down.
so many.
Brilliant. Love it.
Well, I've been doing this for a real long time and I wrote a whole bunch of ideas. So it was absolute gold on both ends of the spectrum for sure.
100%. I think my biggest takeaway is give them a line that gives them a feeling. When you're talking about your business, we love what we do, but when they feel it, that's when you're going to make an impact. So I love that so much. So anyway, share your guys' takeaways on the collective, or if you're in Wendy or Steffie's group, share there what you took away from tonight. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you, we value you, and you guys you're just rad. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for having us.